Hello and welcome to another episode of Making Mindset Matter, the podcast all about all things mindset and personal development with me, your host, Lorna McKenna. If you haven't already done so, please do click the subscribe button or the follow button so you can be notified when a new episode comes out every single week. And just another note, if you do like this episode, please do share it on your social media and tag me at Lorna McKenna on Instagram. That way I can see what your biggest takeaways are from the episode, and then you can obviously share so more people can be impacted by the message. But that being said, I am going to get into today's episode and talk about the importance of affirming or reminding yourself that you are exactly where you need to be. This is something that I had to learn massively on my personal growth journey, and it's something that I still have to affirm to myself every single day, that I am exactly where I need to be. And why is it important to affirm that? Because it brings us back to the present moment. I don't know about you, but I have definitely been guilty in the past, and sometimes still creeps in now, of wishing I was a little bit further ahead than where I am, or looking back at the past things and imagining that you could change that. And actually there's nothing that we can do about the past. There's nothing we can do about the future. All we can have is the present moment. And it's just about remembering that you are exactly where you need to be, not a moment ahead, not a moment behind. Just right now, you are exactly where you need to be. And I know it can be something that takes a while to adjust and understand that you are exactly where you need to be, because we do often go into this overdrive of thinking that we need to be further ahead, that we should be, have a house, kids, money, business, anything, that we should be further ahead than where we are. But if we was meant to be, we would be, and I am a firm believer in that. And I am recording this podcast episode after having just like one of those days. And normally I would just wait to record an episode, and when I've got a bit of inspiration, and obviously want it to be as positive as possible, and I am being positive, but I'd want it to come across as sort of upbeat and the energy transfer. But at the same time, authenticity is my strongest core value, and I want to be authentic, because I have been having one of those days today where everything felt like it was just too much, and I think I've overdone it at the gym to start with. I really went hard yesterday at the gym. My body is aching in places I didn't know it was possible, and today I feel tired. And when I'm tired, I sometimes catch myself, and that's when I have to have the awareness of my mind, because when you're tired, you're not as sharp. And today I have been in that sort of overdrive state of just my brain running at about 20,000 miles an hour, thinking all these different things that have been running, and I've just felt a little bit overwhelmed, and I've had to stop for a moment, breathe, and get my journal out and just journal about why I'm feeling this way, and just remind myself that I am exactly where I need to be. And I just want to touch quickly on the importance of the breath. Your breath is so powerful, and it's something that is so simple because we need it to survive. That's something that we probably just take for granted sometimes, but the power of the breath is so important. So I just want to share a little tip, that if you are ever feeling this slight feeling of overwhelm, just stop for a moment, close your eyes, relax, and just take 6 deep breaths in through the nose and count for 4, and then out through the mouth, and do that 6 times. And if you want, pause the episode now and try it, because when you do it, it will completely change your state of being, and it will just bring you back to the present moment. You'll feel relaxed, relieved, an array of feelings that could possibly come up, because it just brings us back, like I said, to the present moment, which is all we have. And like I was saying earlier on in the episode, it is easy, especially like when we're tired, when our brains don't feel as sharp, to trip into this sort of negative thought pattern. And this is where like your mindset really does come in. There would have been times in the past that if I was having a day like today where I felt slightly overwhelmed, I would have literally sat and beat myself up about it. I would have let my mood overtake my whole day. I'd probably even run into tomorrow. But I've learned, and I've got the awareness now, that I can catch myself when my mood is overtaking. And I know that I have tools and techniques that allow me to like stop this and bring myself back round. And there is so many ways you can do this, and it is different for everyone. And it's just something that I want to touch upon on the ways that I remind myself that I am exactly where I need to be, and the ways that so when you are having the day where you're not feeling your 100%, that you can catch yourself as well. And like I said, it is all in the awareness. It's all about having the awareness of how you are feeling. And one, it is allowing yourself to feel it, because you're feeling it for a reason. Like, I'm a firm believer that in the universe, and some of you may not know what the universe is or not believe in the universe, but I'm a firm believer that everything happens for us, and it's always there to show us something. And if you're a true believer that every situation is there to show you a lesson or to highlight something or to affirm something, then you'll understand that these moments of where I'd say struggle or overwhelm come from, it's because it's trying to show you something. And because our brains naturally think negative, we can easily go and like into that mindset of looking for the negative of why a situation is coming up. Like, why is this happening to me? Why is this happening? Why has this happened again? And get into this negative thought cycle, because our brain, like I said, does automatically think negative thoughts. So obviously if we start asking it negative questions, or we ask it questions that are going to give us a negative response, we're going to find the answer. But whereas if you start working on your mindset and you have that awareness, and you just switch your mindset and switch the reframe of asking yourself, rather than asking yourself, why is this happening to me? You ask yourself, and I'm just going to say, get your pens and papers out, get your journals out, like I say in a lot of episodes. Pause me while you get a pen and paper, or get the notes up in your phone, and just write these questions down. Instead of asking yourself a question of why is this happening to me, ask yourself, why is this happening for me? Because if you're a big believer like me that everything is happening for you, then you will ask yourself, why is this happening for me? What is this situation trying to show me? What can I learn from this experience? And by asking yourself those questions, you'll be able to sort of gain some clarity about what is your next step. And this is what I've done today to remind myself that I am exactly where I need to be, because I've asked myself, what is today trying to show me? What is the situations that have arisen for me that have arisen? Is that a word? Arisen? Yeah, it is a word, isn't it? Arisen today. I think it is. God, I've lost my train of thought. What is the situation that's happened today? What is it trying to show me? And then I've asked myself, why is this happening for me? Like I said, what is this trying to show me, and why is this happening for me? And it's happening for me because I needed a sort of awakening and a realization that the direction that I'm heading in, I just needed to gain some clarity. And by doing this, I just took myself off to a coffee shop. I sat there with a coffee, headphones in, some journal music on, and just journaled on these questions and just had some time for me. And I think that's one thing that is really important to remember, that when you are feeling these feelings of overwhelm, just to take that time back, just to step back from yourself and breathe. Like I said, the breath is so powerful, and just journal, just something as simple as just writing how you feel helps you gain so much clarity. And it's just about also not having that judgment on yourself. It's so easy to think that we need to be thinking positive 24/7, but that's just not the case. We're human. Our emotions always go up and down, and it's just about not holding yourself in judgment and that shame and guilt for allowing yourself to feel, for not allowing yourself to feel a certain way, but about catching yourself, embracing it in order to step forward. And this allows us just to be back to reminding ourselves that we are, you are, I am exactly where I need to be right now. And we can always wish, like I said, that we're further ahead. But if we keep wishing that we're further ahead, all that is doing is robbing us of the present moment. And if you rob yourself of the present moment, which is all you have, then you're wasting time, and time is the most precious commodity that we have. And this is something I will do a whole other episode on, the value of time, because like I said, time, once it is gone, is gone. We can't get it back. It's not borrowed, it's just gone. So if you're too busy focusing on wishing that you was further ahead and spending all your energy and time wishing that you were further ahead and wasting time wishing that you'd done this and wish you'd done that, all you're actually doing is taking away from that present moment and not allowing yourself to be. And remember that you are exactly where you need to be right now. And every situation and every opportunity we have, or every action that we take, is a choice. Everything we choose or choose not to do is a choice. So we can either take this moment to remind ourselves we are exactly where we need to be and use the choice to move forward, or you can choose not to move forward. But just remember, like, you are where you need to be and you have the choice to change it. So if you're not happy with your current situation, or you're not happy with the direction that you're going, you have the choice to impact in the present moment what your next step is. So I'm just going to sort of leave today's episode there and just round it up with, you are exactly where you need to be, because if you weren't where you need to be, you wouldn't be learning the things that you're learning. And if you're a true believer that everything happens for you, then you'd understand that you'll have an understanding that situations arise in order to teach us lessons that will help us step forward and be clearer, or even gain clarity on where we actually want to be going, because your current situation is not your final destination. You have the opportunity to change. Every moment, you have no obligation, I can't remember who says it, but you have no obligation to be the same person that you were 5 minutes ago. So remind yourself that you are exactly where you need to be, and if you're not happy with where you need to be, that you have the opportunity, you have the choice, and you're not obliged to be that same person that you were 5 minutes ago. So you have the opportunity to change, you have the opportunity to move forward and step into your highest version of yourself, step into the version of you that you want. And that is why your mindset really does matter. It's because been able to catch yourself, having the resilience in the mind to know that your current situation is not your final destination, that you are exactly where you need to be, to trust the process, to trust that you know that if you're working towards everything you need to be, that you will get there. And if you're not, that you have the opportunity to change, an opportunity to step forward and step into who you truly want to be. So I am going to leave it there. I'd be really interested to hear what your perspective, if you truly do believe you are exactly where you need to be, or you do wish that you were further ahead. This is a conversation I opened up on my Instagram, on an Instagram story I did recently, and it was really interesting to see the split of people that did think they were needed to be further ahead, and obviously understand the reasoning why they felt that way. But that being said, if you do want, I'd be interested to know what your key takeaways are from this episode. And if you haven't, like I said at the beginning, haven't already done so, please do click the subscribe button, or you can open up the conversation and contact me on Instagram at LornaMcKenna_, and I would love to hear from you. But that being said, just one last reminder, you are exactly where you need to be, and here is to making your mindset truly matter.